Today is August the 7th, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show, 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter. I am your host. This is the show where we tell the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. You're going to recognize this face. I certainly do. I got to know him very well during the next Impactor competition. And boy, oh boy, do we have some exciting things to be sharing today. Loren Harris is definitely a service hero. He is such a service hero because he helps other service heroes to take their messages and make them global. He is the only creator of the second season of the Global Next Impactor. And there are some exciting occurrences that are taking place. He's aligned himself with some new stuff. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of twists and turns and all the neat things that we had before. Plus, I bet you anything, you never know. He may have something under one of those sleeves or something coming out of his
I've got one to tell you about today.
You never know. You never know. So, welcome.
Thank
Lauren
you.
I'm so excited.
Thank you, Tamara, for having me. And just let me say from the beginning how proud we are of you and what you've done since you took the crown back in August of year. What was it? It's been a year.
Yeah, it will be a year on August the 30th. Can you believe it?
Just a few weeks, yeah. Just a year ago, you became our very first. And so just so proud of all you've done and what you do with Service Heroes and with Chemo Buddies. And we've been watching and getting a lot of feedback that it's all been good. So proud. You deserved every bit of it, so we weren't surprised.
Well, thank you. And I will say this, can I just brag about all the people that are helping and about the program itself, the Next Impactor, because even we've got Christopher Case in here, one of the top 5.
Hi, Christopher.
And, he has gotten involved with the nonprofit Chemo Buddies for Life, and many of the impactors actually have come and helped to make the impact happen on a global level. And so the people that were attracted and are attracted to the brand and to the whole idea of making a difference in the world, we work together. I love the whole program in that you made it very clear we were never running against each other. We were always running against time.
Against
time. And I can honestly say that, because there was a lot of energy and fun stuff that happened in season 1.
Yes.
And to have many of the ones that maybe were if there would have been competition, they would have been the ones considered as the competition.
That was a tight race. I think I can say some of that stuff now since it's been a year. Wait. But I don't know how many of you know, because even though we swore people to secrecy, there's always somebody that says, now make sure you don't tell anybody this. And then they say, okay, I won't. And then they tell 100 people. But do you know, between first and second place, between you and your next competitor, it was less than 30 votes. Less than 30 votes. And I believe between number 2 and number 3, which was Emily Silman and Christopher, I think there was less than 20.
I think it was Misty was third, and then
Misty was third. Yeah, Misty. So between Misty and Emily, there was like less than 20. Let's just put it this way: in the top 5, it was it took 70 votes, covered all of you.
Oh,
that's
my
how close
goodness.
it was.
Well, and that is a tribute to the brand. That's a tribute to the program. And I want to just say, I am so thrilled to see so many people that are joining us. We've got Helene. Helene is one of our buddy ambassadors. She's one of my buddies. And we have ambassadors within our program. And she's here to welcome everybody. And I love it. And so,
Yes.
the whole idea here, Loren, is that it really was, and you laid it out in such a really solid way, to think that all of us were so close, which I had no idea. But it doesn't surprise me, in truth, because it was set up to succeed. It was set up to get out there, and for those that really took it and were running with it makes a lot of sense that we would be so close, because the activity was such that the energy was there. The energy, we were running together. Again, it was a run against time. At the
Yeah.
end, it really was a bit a run against each other, but not
Well,
in any bad way.
not in a bad way, but that,
No,
competition is competition.
right.
And it brings out the best in us, or it shines a light on the things that we need within ourselves to do better. Now, what I will say is what made it so wonderful from all of you all is that you were the pioneers. When you're doing something that's never, ever, ever been done, there's no reference point. So you can't say, well, let's do it like they did it, because there is no they. And so a lot of it was, I was so happy. I'm still are. I'm so blessed that, especially when it came to everything that led up to that finale night, when you guys were on the teams and the different challenges every week and the video challenges and all of that. And we had great coaches that the people fell under on the teams. And that's something I'm going to tell you guys today. I'm going to let one new thing out of the bag today. But, last year we kind of started warming it up right about now, just talking about it, getting the word out there. But this year we're doing it a little different. We wanted something, we wanted people to reach and stretch and cross that finish line, even in the very beginning. So that's why this year, partnering with E360 Television, because, my show is on E360. And I'm an associate producer for E360 now, which I just absolutely love. Thank you, Aaron Hymes and Aggie and the rest of the E360 family. Thank you so much for that. But we were looking for a way to reach in and speak to the impactors that were in the competition last year. All of them except for you. So we opened up this competition to get three people that were inside the Impactor competition last year to vie for 3 spots on E360, where you can have 12 one-hour shows free of charge, where we help you build it. We help you get all your stuff together, your show openers, your bumpers, your sizzles, all of that stuff, the promotion, and get you out in front of the world on some great markets where you could reach, when it's all said and done, close to 1 billion screens. And that's exactly what the opportunity consists of for all of us on E360. And so we thought it'd be a great way to thank all of the people who participated, sacrificed, and made last year's competition something that all of us will never forget and people will always talk about. So we wanted to do something for them first. So that's how we're doing it. Now, after September 1st, when that competition for just...
Uh-oh, he'll be back. I do not know where he went, but he will be back in just a moment. And I want to recognize that we have so many people that have come on. Sherry, one of our senior ambassadors, so glad that you're here. Andrea, so happy you're here with us. And Carol Berzins, so grateful for all you do. And here he comes. All right, we have you back.
Okay. I don't know where. Hold on, I got to change that camera. I need all the help I can get. It's got the computer. There we go. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I was here. I heard everything you said.
Okay, well, there you go.
Where I was at was I was saying we wanted to thank everybody and do something special for the people that made it possible last year but did not win. So up until September 1st, the competition for the 3 spots on E360 is open to just people who had their hands inside the pot last year for Impactor. Now that means it doesn't matter if you placed or not, as long as you are not Tamara Hunter. As long as you didn't win, you can get in there. Sorry, Tamara. Sorry.
That's all right. Well, okay. So shouldn't the winner get one of those shows?
Absolutely not. Because
No.
well, because everybody's like, oh, she got everything she walked away with. So, and the thing is, we've got some other things planned for you. So you're going to be busy. You're not going to have time to be doing what these other people are doing. Trust me.
Okay.
But I do want everybody to know that September 1st, when we close that part of the competition, that is only open to people that were previously within last year's competition. It will be open to all of you. Same process as last year, where you'll go to our YouTube channel and you'll upload your video saying why you are the next global impactor. And you might talk about that. And I want to ask you, I'm switching the roles now.
Okay,
you're the interviewer, you're going to become the interviewee. So tell everybody, Tamara, if you would, how was your mindset and what you thought this was at the end that night, August 30th here in Chicago last year, as compared to when you uploaded that very first video saying, I am the next impactor? How different was the experience?
Oh, it was night and day, because I literally had no idea what I was getting involved with. When I uploaded my video, I was actually at a conference in Colorado Springs, and I thought, I got to just do this. And I was on this beautiful mountain. I thought, okay, this will be beautiful. And I went back to the website and all the information that I could find, and I thought, okay, I have to own this. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to own it. And so then I looked at the valley, and that's when I thought, okay, these people need what it is that I am coming, to the competition with, which is, I was on the platform of Chemo Buddies for Life under my name. And so when I filmed, which I nearly slid down the hill when I was doing it, the things we do, that's the behind the scenes. But, it didn't matter, though, because by the time I started getting into the zone, I had no idea really what I was going for. However, I was believing that it would help take my message and my mission out globally. That's what I was holding on to. How, and the hows and the whys and the any of the details, I wasn't worried about. I was into the end, and I just knew that, okay, if I'm doing this, then I am the next impactor. So I was able to share it with confidence. And then when I started getting involved in it, it took a while for me to really kind of figure it out. And then I absolutely fell in love. I fell in love. I literally fell in love with the process and everything. And was it perfect? No. However, you know what? Unconditional love is unconditional love. And that's what I had for the brand then. And I have so much now unconditional knowledge and still love for what it is that we're doing with the brand. I couldn't be more proud.
Oh.
Absolutely.
That actually makes me feel really good, Tamara. I have to tell you, because, I just want to get this off the table. A lot of people think that, I don't know what they think, but I'm not afraid, personally. I'm not afraid about, I'm not fearful of things that I know when we are all chosen for something. And then you have that moment of clarity where you choose in return. Many are called, few are chosen, but trust me, very few find the courage to choose in return. And so to choose in return, you have to be willing to be a very unpopular person. You have to be willing to be a very lonely person. You have to be the person that's willing to take all of the gut shots, because people don't know what you don't know. And I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know what next week's. This time last year, I was so grateful that we were near the end, because it's been a real humdinger all the way through, especially when the teams hit and the coaching and the different things and all the different semantics between everybody and everything. But I was okay with that, because I knew now we're setting the bar for don't worry about just this year. Think about the next 30 years, the next 29 impactors that there will be that will hold this crown. And so I'm so grateful that we were able to make it through, because here's the deal. Now we know exactly how here's the things that I can tell you. The things that'll be the same. The weekly challenges, the way they went out, the video challenges, the team, the person that was in charge every week from each team, that was the project manager. We're still going to do that. Here's the thing. You get ready. Drum roll. Here's the thing that's different this year. Last year, all 5 of our coaches were people that were considered impactors themselves, influencers, people that are either speakers, and I'm talking the Vicky Omofalagis, the Jason Cisneros, the Melissa Halls, Todd Specials, Cheryl Connor Snap, Cheryl Snap Connor, got it back.
Right.
Those people, they're all out there doing that. This year, our 5 coaches are all people from the entertainment field, celebrities, or in their own right, they are. They're either actors, dancers, producers, movie, television, somewhere they're inside that world. Okay, so this year they're all people that you can Google and you can sit down tonight and watch them doing something on a screen. So that's what I'll tell you about that. So our 5 people this year are people who aren't running around doing what we do, because I thought, well, how cool will that be, where they can learn from you all, and you all might, the people that are in the competition could meet somebody. One of the people was in the Matrix 4, I'll say that. And on and on and on. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me stop.
Okay.
But it's really exciting, and they're great people. They're able to bring something to the table that's a little different this year, by just the things that they've gone through. When you hear their stories and all the things that they have accomplished and how they did it, they're not so different than you and I. And so I thought, and then when I started talking to a couple of them about it, they were like, oh my goodness, I know someone who, she has a television show right now, and she said she'd love to talk to you about this. Oh, and this one guy, he has a hit show on Netflix right now. He's like, because the thing is, we all started at the same spot. We all went through a bunch of crap. We all overcame. We all felt those days when it was like, that would be easier for me to do it. And that's what I love about it. We are more similar than we are different. Right. And so I'm thinking every season we'll have a different type of coach.
I love it. I love that. Oh, yeah. Woohoo. I love it.
Yeah.
This is exciting. The energy.
Very exciting.
You can feel it, and we have a couple of the impactors right now with us. We have hi,
Michael Tyra. Boom.
Yeah, and we have, of course, Christopher here, and let's see who else is here. I see if anybody else right now or any of the impactors. No.
Now,
however,
I hope you can re-enter. Everybody is eligible except you.
That's okay. That's okay. Because, the thing I have to say that I'm really excited about, guys, is that forever I am the first Next Impactor. The very first Global Next Impactor, and that's something to be proud of. It was an interesting season, and I'm grateful to be the one that gets to represent that season. For all of it, Loren, I will say I love first season.
Thank you. I think everybody in it did. Christopher just said, I saw on the screen, he said it was, I don't know if you can pull that back up. Christopher made a comment about how it was, there it was, says it was a life changer for me, and happy to see a second season coming. Thank you, Chris. Yes. That really means a lot. There's Chris's work behind me on the wall over here. And I just want to say this. Here, I'm letting a second, they're going to kill me for doing this, but because I haven't even talked to you about it. But one of the things that's going to be new to season 2 as well is because we didn't have a winner last year to use within the competition. This year we do. So Tamara, you will be like, if anybody watches American Idol, and they have that guy on with the glasses that comes in as a mentor.
Okay.
We're going to have you come in, and for the 5 teams, 1 week each team, you will be their celebrity mentor. where you go in and you tell them, you work with them and tell them all the things that you've experienced, over the last year, and suggestions about how you did what you did, and just move you down the line of all 5 teams. So every team will have a week with you as we move closer to crowning our second global.
I love it. I'm all in. Well, you know that. I'm all in.
I'm excited.
This is when you believe in something, guys. And that day that I filmed, you asked about that day and what I felt then, and what I then up to August the 30th. I can say that every single challenge, and we had different things going on. It wasn't just like one challenge going on, guys. There's a lot
of activity. Some weeks you had multiples.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity going on, and you have a lot of things that you are focusing in and you're building. And at each week, as the challenges came and as the growth was taking place and the teams were coming together and our nonprofits, we were getting closer to them. Every single week, it was like the thermometer just kept going up, or that belief just kept going up to a point where it's like so huge that there's just no stopping the momentum when something's going like that. And so to have this going out into a second season right now, I would say to anybody, if you believe that you've got something that the world really needs, that you need to impact, and you have felt it. I have talked to so many people over this last year, and I knew from the time I was a child, I knew there was something that I was supposed to do. And I really wondered when I heard you have cancer, had I blown it? Had I overlooked it? Had I missed that opportunity? Life has a way of giving you that opportunity when you really are supposed to have it. And that was, I had the nonprofit by then, and this showed up. And look at what happened.
Absolutely.
You guys are out there saying, yeah, I know. I felt that too. I felt it, but there's no buts.
And let me say this too. Here's something that's really exciting about season 2 that was kind of a buzzkill in a way for season 1, but we knew we had to deal with it. It came with the territory. We were fully aware of it going in, and we dealt with it. But the thing is, the first year when you don't have a reference point, you're there. You're taking the gut punches where people are like, oh, they're trying to get rich off this. No. Oops. No, not at all. Not at all. Trust me. I wouldn't be on this call if that's what happened. I'd be laying on the beach in Tahiti. That's what I'd be doing. Social distancing, styling. I'm just saying. But that wasn't why we were doing it. But still, people, everybody raised their eyebrow, because that's what a lot of things in this world, that a lot of, you pay for big events, you do this, people, they shell out money to sit in the front row and VIP and upgrade me and all that. And then, a year later, their life is still the same. Nothing has changed. I'm just keeping it real, Tamara. I'm keeping it real. And it's like, when I put myself out there with this kind of thing, I was like, geez, are you really ready for all that's going to come with this? And I had to say, you know what, because we're going to find that one person. We're going to find that person. And we did. I'm looking at her. And I knew it would be worth it, but I didn't know how that was going to be. I could not see it because, God doesn't give you more than you can handle at the time. And so as it developed, every week with those challenges, I remember sitting right in this chair at 3 and 4 in the morning, sitting here and saying, okay, I'm open. What should their challenge be this week? Because if you remember tomorrow, the challenges were never just any old thing. They were always about something that really provoked thought. You had to really, and do you remember the first couple of weeks on your team? How crazy things were? And I watched it at 5 teams. I'm going down the road looking like this. And they were arguing and there's backbiting and this. And then suddenly you start seeing this. People coming together. It's working. This is my forte. This is not. And the people were being honest. It's so many. I'd love to hear from you, because I've not really asked people. We need to reach out to people from last year's competition to get some of this stuff. But for you, you're right here, right now. Can you tell us, how was it from the first week? How many weeks on your team did it take before you guys started gelling?
Well, Well, we had a completely different makeup of a team.
Who was your coach? Todd. That's right.
Todd. Yeah. So I was the only one of all of my friends that ended up on another team. All the other ones were on Cheryl's team, the ones that I knew.
And that was all arbitrary.
Yeah, I know.
That was all the way it was meant to be.
I watched it happen. Yeah, I watched it happen and coming out of the hat. And so I was put on a team where a lot of the people on my team knew each other. They knew each other. A lot of them were from the Chicagoland area, or they were the international crowd. We had two of the international. We had a few international people, but two of the international ones were on my team. And what happened in the very beginning, I have to say, is that we actually didn't have a lot of the trauma and drama. We really didn't. And our team
I remember that now.
Our team didn't do a lot of changing.
No, you didn't.
We found a groove pretty fast. And we found, it was really interesting. We found kind of a core leadership within it that was inclusionary. It was a leadership that believed in bringing out the best in the others. And so I love my teammates. I'm proud of the way that our team came together. And in fact, our team came together at the very end.
Yes.
They came together and they supported, their greatest hope, if you will, and the fact that they knew that we could have a team member lead, and that was Win, and that was me. And so they came together with me, and there's that noise. It's gone.
It's gone.
For a moment it was, but that's okay. Not a worry. So with our situation, though, I did watch the other ones, though. It was really interesting. I watched what was happening too from the other side, because I didn't get involved. I'm not one to get involved in a lot of politics behind, and that's just not who I am anyway. And yet what was interesting was that there would be people that would come to me, and what I would always say is that you got to believe, you got to take the high road, and you got to look for the positive. And in the end, why are we here? We're here because we believe we can make an impact. And if you were to go and talk to any of them, they would all probably say the same thing, because that's what I believed in. And so I started actually having a lot of the different impactors, and many of the top impactors that were running, if you will, we were at the same place in time and on my show, and I was highlighting them, what it is that their mission is. Why is it that they are running for the impactor? Why should they be the impactor, and vote for them? And that was the very best way that I could actually not just say it, but actually do it. And so yes. I did. If you look back in the Service Hero shows, and I know you've got guests in town.
No, we're good. We're good. Okay. Brian's got him. I'm just watching. I didn't know he had this talent. Now I know. He's
okay, well, let me just brag about your.
My three sisters are here. I call them the witches of Eastwick.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you this. The very first time I met Brian.
Aw, look at my honey.
Yeah, well, the very first time I met him, I was a little late to a party, and I got a little teary-eyed at that moment in time when I walked in the door. I don't know if you remember this or not, but we had gotten into Chicago. Mikey and I had landed.
The Stan Mansion.
Well, no, we had the get together at your house first.
Oh God, no.
So we were out, and we had kind of like some other places that we had said, okay, Mikey had said we would stop by, or this or that. And so I get there and I'm a little late, and I was feeling kind of bad about it, and I started getting a little, like, a tear in my eye. And you know what he did? I'll never forget it. He grabbed my hand, And he took me into the kitchen, and he just was like the sweetest. He's like, it's okay. It's good. You're good. Everything's great. It's perfect. And all was well from there,
Now, had you won yet?
no,
It was the night before.
Yeah, it was right. It was 2 nights before, because
Yes.
we had the get together, because all of us were flying in, and we had barbecue, and then the next day we did.
And see, here, let me just say something. See,
Okay.
here's the thing about that stuff, because so did you understand me, where I was coming from.
And now I do.
We decided from the very beginning as a team, we talked about it, and I raised my hand from the door, and I said, because, this is really my baby. I'm okay being the bad guy. Somebody's got to be, because there's no reference point. There's going to have to be some place that people can get pissed off at. And so I decided to be that person. I'm okay with it. And the thing is, I already knew you had won.
Yeah,
I already knew you had won.
I figured that.
Right. So I'm like, Tamara's the last one getting here, and she is the next impactor. When you told me we're almost there, and it's 3 hours later, and you're still not here, you got me worried. I'm looking at my watch. I'm distracted from the rest of the. So all of that kind of stuff. And Brian's there with me. He always does damage control, no matter what. So I just wanted to get that out there. A lot of that was, and that night, I just want you to know, that example, everything that happened all the way through when everybody left town, because, we had the finale, then the next morning we had photo shoots and this and the other. It was just on. And then there were 2 weeks of post-event stuff that, we had to do here when you guys were already gone home. And it wasn't until about 30 days later when we closed the books on the event that it was finally, and everything in every one of those days from almost a full year were things that we think we know what we're doing, but you don't know until it's done, whether you knew or not. 90% we didn't know. 10% we did know. So that's a big difference when you weigh it all out. And oh my God. But now that we've done it, when you look at those pictures and stuff, don't you feel a part of something greater than yourself? Don't you feel like, wow, look at history?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel very calm and grateful. I feel responsible. I feel driven, and part of that is, and I have all year. Any of the team that works closely with me will tell you that I mean, there's the trophy right there. There's the Impactor.
Oh yeah, don't you just love her?
Oh, she's beautiful. Yeah,
I know. I can't wait to hand that second one off. Well, actually, it'll be you.
Oh, that's exciting!
You get to hand it to the next one.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, because the next one will be the Impactor. I will then be the first Global Next Impactor. I will no longer be the active Impactor.
Get to pass the torch.
Right, I will. And so I have felt so obligated to being the Impactor to make the global impact. And let me report to you guys that we are. When we have been opening up countries and making a difference, and Carol Berzins is one of our first ones to start us going global. She took the flag and said, okay, we're going global, and we're starting in Canada. And then we went and launched from there, and to know that we actually have now a global presence. And we are making a difference. We are making a difference, and we're not all the way there yet. And that's what but we're getting there. And having the way that you laid it out with the first year, having the ability to have a global impact through a column in the Global Achievers magazine. And I bring that up every month. Where are we in building this global organization, Chemo Buddies for Life? And so that one in the middle of the night, same thing I've always talked about, that it will happen, that in the middle of the night, wherever it may be in the world, that they are afraid and alone, that they will then be able to pick up their phone. They may not have clean water. Hopefully they do, but they may not, but they most likely have a phone, and they will
Yes.
be able to get to us, and they will no longer be alone because they will have a community of love. And that is because of the next Impactor. We are making that. I know that that is around the corner, that anywhere in the world, but now we do have places in the world where they know we're here. They
And I
know.
just want to say something. I want to say shout out to Christopher. Christopher, I see your comment where you said, I am feeling nostalgia. Brother, me too. If I could just put a high five, Chris. Because, you know, Tamara, I just got to say, you know, when you're laying in your bed or wherever it is, I know for me it was, I was laying in my bed, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Something a lot of people don't know. I know exactly the moment this happened. I had seen my first commercial for that show on NBC called what is it? The Masked Singer.
Oh,
and they're inside of
I know which one it is. I know.
They're
I
like inside of a furry costume or something, and your people are trying to guess who it is, who's the star that's in there. And I said to Brian, I said, honey, network television is putting millions of dollars behind this concept of someone who's already a celebrity. They're inside of a furry costume, and other celebrities are guessing who it is. Really? Why isn't there something for people like us who are trying to change the world one soul at a time, one person at a time? And that's where it began. And I'm going to tell you something. The day will come. I'm not going to rest. I've told guys that don't try to take me out of this game until we have done this. I'm not going to rest until the next Impactor becomes whatever happens when you win the next Impactor. The same thing happened with Kelly Clarkson. Same thing happened with what's the country singer girl? You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What is her name? She's good. She won
all
of them.
Wheel.
You know, right?
Yeah.
They end up. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're not going to stop until it is like that. That's the way it's going to be. That's why this year I said, so what kind of coaches do we? Oh, what about celebrities? You know, bathrobe moments after dark is nothing but people that are in the entertainment industry now. Every Wednesday night at 7, shameless plug. And next week I have some AGT competitors. Rose and her husband Charlie are coming on. And Rose, you know, I just want to say this. Great person. She's been nominated for Oscars for makeup and this and the other. And so when I talk to these people, I say, hey, take a look at this footage from the next Impactor. And what do you think about da da da? They all go, oh my God, how do I not know about this? So I'm really excited. Carrie Underwood, thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
That one about what's that song? My favorite one of her songs is that one about how she rode in the leather.
And
then busted out all the windows of your. I bet you'll think twice the next time you cheat on me. Right. I feel you, Carrie. So anyway, I'm just saying, why can't it be like that for this?
Oh, without a doubt. And you know what? This is why when you know, like the fact that I do, and my buddies will tell you, and the leadership will tell you, that I take this title extremely serious, and I'm honored, and I respect the brand so much. And I know that in showing that it works, and taking where we were and then taking it to a point where it is global. People know that the buddies, they know if you hear you have cancer, that you need a buddy. That will be because of the Impactor. That will be because.
Let me ask you something. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you. Grab your trophy. Grab her.
Okay,
she is the Impactor. That's and we call her the Impactor. Because I know that I remember the day I found her. Mm-hmm. When I looked over probably 60 or 70 different options, and I saw her, and I said, "Oh, this is her." So let me ask you. I want to know. I really want to know, because I want to know how it fits in with what I dreamed. And then when I found her, and when I heard the voice say, "This is the one," and remember on the finale, it was up on the table on the stage, right in the middle, up high.
Yes.
All of that came at one time. All of it. you know, our ideas come to us only on their way through us to the world. And so I want to know, this is a great opportunity to find out how it all played out. So when you got her home, because she came in that beautiful box.
Oh yeah, I've got the
her
box.
Home.
Yeah.
Where did you put her? And what was it like when people started visiting you and they saw it? I just want to know.
You know, where she's been is primarily here, where she's
on
been
your set.
Yeah, on the set. I don't have a lot, especially now. We don't have many people coming to the house.
COVID,
but I did actually take her when we could go traveling and I could be on stage. I took her with me when I would go speak, and I don't know that they were excited to see me speak, but they were excited to see her. They really, oh yeah. I mean, I had people coming up and saying, can I hold? Can I? And so a couple times I did, and they're like, oh, she's so much heavier than I thought.
Isn't she though?
Yeah, she is. That's why she's on my lap right now. She's sitting on my lap. She's got a nice little comfy place to sit. And yeah, and when they look at her closely, and they see the etched world, and they see the, you know, the continents, and then when I would be on stage and I would refer to her, and I'd say, I am not stopping until, and then I would kind of close my eyes and just, you know, put my finger somewhere on the globe until the person here knows that we are there for them. And
can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just curious because, you know, sometimes I know a lot of you out there will understand this question. You know, when you do things, sometimes you're doing it because you're being told, being led, and you don't know, was it worth it? And I just want to know from you, Tamara, because who knows, our next impactor may be listening. Do you remember that first time when your home was sleeping, and you got up and you went out and you just looked at her, and you just sat there? Do you remember that moment? Because I know you had it.
Well, I remember.
And you were like,
even before home, because I had planned to stay. One of two reasons. I basically felt in my bones I was going to win. However, I figured I had never been to Chicago before, so if I didn't win, I wanted to go sightseeing. But I figured I was going to stay longer, right, so that I could meet with some of the coaches and get going, because I didn't want to let any time waste. And so I actually had her, because we had stayed at one of the hotels that Misty Lane had set up for us, and I was in like a home setting. And I had her, the windows were looking on to Chicago, which was beautiful. We were downtown Chicago, and I'd never been there before, and so it felt like I was in some kind of an apartment situation or condo situation. And I had her there by the window. And I remember getting.
So you took her out of the box.
Oh, she was sitting there. I had her strategically, like it was a living room, and she was there. And I have pictures of it too, where, you know, there's the buildings in the background, and it's beautiful. And I remember going, and I actually did. It was because Amy Morrison was my roommate, and she had gone home, and I was the only one there still. And so I was alone, and I remember going and sitting in the couch, and there was the two chairs, and then the side and the table between the two chairs, and the window was behind, and just looking at her, and then looking at, and I'll never forget it, because then there's all these high-rise buildings behind, and thinking, those people in those high-rise buildings right now, because of you, we will be able to, if they need chemo buddies, they're going to know that we are here for them. And I remember sitting there thinking, and that's why I took the picture. And so I'll never forget that moment. And I remember that thinking, and in fact, the way I took the picture too, I kind of got down on my knees, and I got my phone, and I'm trying to get the right angle. And because I was like, I never want to forget that image of thinking about, because you think one in every two or one in every three, you know, male or female, hear those words, and then we support those people. And we support those people that love and support them also. And I'm thinking, I wonder how many people in those buildings And because of you, they will know about us.
That's
And that
awesome.
will
That's
go
awesome.
everywhere in the world. And so, yeah, I remember that. I didn't even make it home. Didn't even make it home.
Wow. Did you ever look at this afterwards and go like, did it ever make you feel like, wow, if I ever questioned whether this could be what I know it could, what I've always known it could be? I mean, you did say I had a feeling in my bones, and I know about those feelings, and they're very real. You said that I was going to win, and you did.
Yeah.
And it was so close. Oh my goodness, we couldn't believe it because we had an accounting firm
Right.
who
Yeah.
certified all the numbers and everything, and that's another thing because all I was doing the whole 9 months was like that's why the pull of the top 50 was in my kitchen, right live on TV. I was like, look, button up my sleeves.
Well, and Mikey and I had that obnoxious party that I still have these things
you guys
here,
were sitting there like
from
it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a fun night though?
It was a fun night, and then Loren, it's interesting how life shows up because it was such a fun night, and yet we turned off our all of our electronics because it was also there was one person from our group that didn't make it into the top at that time, and so it was just like, okay, we just needed to chill, and Mikey was staying at my house, and so we hadn't eaten, and when I turned on my electronics the next morning, that was when the next morning I found out that my senior ambassador, who had convinced me to join this, had passed because she was in a coma. And I kept thinking,
know that.
Yeah, it was that next morning I found out, and it was only when I found out it was within an hour of my name being drawn that she let go. She was in a coma.
Goodness.
And I know that she let go because she knew that she could go, and that the buddies would be going forward. And so you see, when I think about this program, I have such respect, and people have, they may have had their whatever feelings because of whatever experiences they had, good or bad, in truth. But my feeling in regards to it was that it was absolutely what I needed to be doing. I am so proud to have her on my lap right now. I am so proud to represent it. And nothing in this world, and we are living in the times right now where you could just say, yeah, nothing in this world is ever going to be perfect. I mean, look at what's happening out there. Yet, nothing is perfect, yet it's worth it. And when opposition shows up, usually that means something amazing is going to happen. And what we are doing and going forward to give an opportunity to say, all right, we believe in impact. We believe that there are people that have a purpose, and that we're going to give you a forum, and we're going to help you to learn skills, and we're going to let you really dive deep into your soul and pull from your toenails the strength to get through it. And because anytime you're going to make a worldwide impact, it's not going to be easy. And so anybody that thought this was going to be easy in the very beginning, I kept thinking, okay, I can understand you thought it was going to be easy. When I started the nonprofit and I knew it was going to be global, and I don't even know anything about electronics, and I didn't even have social media then, yet I knew that was where we were going. It was like, okay, I know it's going to be hard. And if it was going to be easy, man, was it going to, am I the right one for this? I knew going in, it was going to take everything I had. And so getting into the Impactor, it was like, I kept thinking, oh my goodness, you guys are upset about something, whatever it may be. And I'm thinking, do you understand that we can actually, with this program, we can actually do something bigger than ourselves? And that's what I just kept holding on to. And I can now say, almost a year to the day here this month, that, oh my goodness, it is happening. And I know without a doubt that it is because of the impactor. Not that I wouldn't have done it and I wouldn't have had the help, but it is accelerating it at such a pace because this gave the platform and the third party validation, if you will, to say, okay, she's the one. And I had made a promise to all my teammates and to all the people within the Impactor, and I still want to put this out there. I have this little show, Service Heroes, and I wanted to highlight all the Impactors and share their stories.
Well,
And
I gotta say this. It was a real moment just now for me because, people, they don't get to see, when you have the finale, and it was beautiful, and it took thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to make it look like that. Trust me, it really
it was beautiful. Yeah.
And but when you're there and you're in the moment, and the next day everybody goes home or whenever they go, and you're back to just being you. You just thank God that X. My handyman Juan made that X so it can fold in half, and I can carry it, in my car. I don't have to rent a truck and all that, and it's downstairs. And I remember when we came back and it was all done, and somebody said to me, "So are you just going to throw that away?" I was like, "No, of course not, because we're going to use it at the next one." And that was a moment when, it all started to make sense to me, because you guys, I'm just going to say this, and this is for all of you who are listening and watching and are tempted to answer the call, the prompting, to do something that you don't know how to do.
You don't know
You're
what?
going to do it. I'm just keeping it real. You don't
I
know
didn't
how
hear you. I didn't hear you.
You don't know how you're going to do it,
Oh,
but you
yeah,
just know that
yeah.
you cannot say no.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
I say that to people,
Yeah.
and they act like they understand, but I don't know that they really do. I don't care. I mean, it's not up to me to try to figure it out. But there are so many reference points in history of people that sat in that same seat, and they did it. All I know is this, and this is all I want to tell you guys is this, is when purpose reaches out and calls you and touches you and cradles you like this in its hands and says, it's going to be okay, just do it. Everything you do, if you do it on purpose, you will walk away from whatever you were just doing with even more purpose.
Yeah.
You may not even see it or feel it. It's not like a physical change that comes over you. You don't feel like you're heavier or, oh, look, my pockets are fuller. But I'm telling you, when you need to know, you will know. And, the other day, a couple of weeks ago, when we decided it's time, I promise you, Tamara, I did not sit down and figure out when we were going to start this again. When it happened, I think it was like 9 days ago, when it was like, it's time, start right now. I called Aaron from E360. I said, Aaron, I was just told like 20 minutes ago, it is time for round 2 of the next Impactor. Here's how I'd like, and it was your face that I saw. So I know you're supposed to be there. We sat there at the end of like 32 minutes, 33 minutes of a phone call. Everything that you see out there right now about the 3 shows was there. That's exactly how it happened at the beginning of Impactor 1. And I'm like, it's just a wonderful thing. I'm telling everybody listening, I want you to know that what you believe to be greater than you, Source, universe, God, many are called, few are chosen, but even fewer of those that are chosen will choose and return. I'm telling you, all you have to do is choose and return. Same thing you did, Tamara. Look at that. That's not coincidence about your mentor who passed away right after your name was called. She's the one who convinced you to do this. Something spoke to her and said, tell her. And I mean, I heard that today for the very first time. And when you hear that, that's when I lost it here. You guys saw it. That's what it was, because it made sense to me for a lot of things that until you told that story, still didn't make sense to me. And the beautiful part about it is if you just hold on, eventually every question mark becomes an answer.
Yeah.
Every question mark becomes an answer. And I want that for every single person, every single one of you. I am so grateful right now that I could die right now and feel totally okay with it because of moments like this and people like you finding you. I remember telling Jason Cisneros after the idea came through, and I was sitting there and I was like, every time someone uploaded uh, their video to YouTube, I would look at it and I'd go, like, "Are you the one? Is he it? I wonder if it's her." And just watching it unfold is just incredible. If you ever want something in your life that unequivocally makes you never question the question mark. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Since Impactor, I long for the question mark. If I don't see if there's not a question mark in it, I know God isn't in it. Because it means if I don't question anything, it means I must know everything about it. I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was worried about this with Impactor, all the question marks, but there's nothing to compare it to. They're gonna think I'm trying. And when people would say, "Oh, I'm trying to get rich," and this, child, please, you know what I'm saying? If you were back here and saw the crunching of these numbers, you'd know there was no way possible.
Mm-hmm.
But well, that's okay, because now we're past that.
Right. And may I just say this, and that is that in truth, those that are going to say that, that's where, people are going to see what is the most important to them. And so the people that are all about impact and purpose and a cause are going to see the impact, the purpose, and the causes that were fulfilled because of the opportunity that they had to have a platform, that they had an opportunity to see that many are doing so much more than they did before. It's not just the top 5 or 6. Right. There's so many that were in the Impactor because they came up with exposure and new skills and whatever it may be, confidence.
And here we are a year later, and most of you, I think all of you who were in there together are like brothers and sisters still.
Oh yeah, a lot of them are work with our volunteers within our organization, and then we support each other. We are like a family.
We are.
Yeah, and so that's where I want to just say is, if you're coming from that place, are you always coming? And I don't put the finger back at anybody, but it's just back to the question, and so I don't let. Quite honestly, I just figure what my mission is with something so big doesn't allow for me to sweat the small stuff. And so it's like, the water off the back, the duck's back, or whatever it may be. If someone wants to have an issue, I've lost plenty of friends and even family because of the fact that when you really are, and it's temporary, because I know in the end that all will be okay. And you have to just say, okay, for right now, they need a timeout. That's all right. They need a timeout, but I can't. I'm very focused. I'm going forward, and there'll be different ones. And it's interesting. They come and they go, and it's a cycle. Yet the purpose, when you really are in purpose and you have a mission that is, if you will, a calling, yes, that doesn't stop. And that remains the same. It doesn't change. It hasn't deviated. For me, it hasn't deviated. Not when I joined the next Impactor, it stayed the same. It is the same today, almost a year later.
Thank you so much for that.
And so, yes, thank you. Thank you. That's why I wanted, as soon as I saw and Christopher actually said, "Did you see it?" He was so excited. And I said, I haven't yet. And he goes, "Go check it out." So I did. And I'm like, okay, I got to get a hold of Loren and get you scheduled, because it's like, okay, you're welcome. We're going to blast this open. That's part of my role. That's part of my role as, the Impactor right now, to say, you know what, guys, second season, it is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see who's going to be coming, and the fact that I'll get to work with them, I'm excited about that.
Every last one of them.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Me too. I can't wait. And man, you think the challenges were something in season 1? Girl. Tell you what, I've been sitting here in the middle of the night. Ooh. And I can't wait. I can't. Do you remember? I remember the day when I first put the two of them out simultaneously. When you guys got 2 challenges in 1 week, and Christopher posted something that said he's at it again, right? And I was like, it was just so how we had so much fun, didn't we? Though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you don't even realize what it is until afterwards. Isn't that something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
well,
awesome.
And Christopher actually already scheduled us to have a reunion like the year later on his podcast or his show for the top 6, top 5, because we have one couple in there. And so we will be commemorating and doing the year later on his show. And I'm so excited about that. And so the bottom line is this, is that in my mind, this is something that you guys, it is only just beginning. It's only just beginning. So if your heart is like mine and you always knew you had something big to do and you kind of wondered even, right, me? Yeah, you know in your heart that you have something to do, but you don't know how. And I love the way you said that, Loren. You don't know how. The thing that the Impactor does do with these challenges and the teams, and these teams are real teams, because my teammates and cross teammates are still teammates of mine and are helping to make the global difference with the chemo buddies. And so you bond, and we're there to support each other with the missions and like, is it time? And because we know what each other's missions are. And so if you know that this is something that you need to be doing, and you just wonder, just when I did mine, and if anybody watches it, I clearly state that I am the next Impactor. I knew it in my bones. Yeah, I knew it in my bones. I stated it there. And I was obnoxious, people said, even where every single day I was out there making the case that I am the next Impactor. I didn't let down. And you need to, and what I always felt, guys, is this. If I didn't end up with the Impactor trophy, it didn't matter, to be honest, because I was the next Impactor with the title, without the title, because I have a mission and I will not stop until the impact is made. And that is what this allows for, is that confidence to just say it and be it and do it. Yes.
Absolutely. So, Tamara, I am dropping in the comments right now the link to our YouTube channel, awesome, which is known as the Next Impactor Top 50, where people can go and they can take a look at every one of the videos of the team challenges all the way through the competition, get an idea of what they were doing, what you guys were doing, because that's the best way to see what you'll be getting yourself into when you upload your video saying that I am the next Impactor. All I want to say in conclusion is this. Hundreds of people stood in front of a camera somewhere in the world and they all said, I am the next Impactor. And guess what? Tamara Hunter won. But every one of those people was absolutely correct in their statement that they are the next Impactor. If you believe it, if you see it, if you receive it, you will be it. That's all there is to it. It's not just this competition. It's a daily challenge. And so I'm just so grateful. I hope to see many of you inside season 2. And if not, maybe when the time is right for you, we'll see you then. But whatever you do, be an Impactor. Whether you're in a competition or you're in a grocery store line, you could still be that same Impactor. So I want to thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being the service hero that you are. So as we close today, August the 7th, 2020, the Service Hero Show, 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. Loren Harris, you are a service hero. May I just say, the fact that you have been willing to stand up in your truth and say, okay, I am being called to do this, and I am being called again to do this because I know that there are impacts that need to be made. And the fact that you're here right now stating this, you are standing in your truth once again, so that we will all stand up into our own truths, and then all together collectively throughout the world. And today in 2020, the second half, we need impactors more than we've ever needed them. Yes.
Absolutely right. Amen. Amen.
So thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
To share.
Thank you. Thanks.
Absolutely. Okay, today it's TGIF Friday, guys. We're late, so be there at the group, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. See you there. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
You all so much. Bye. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.